Hey, what's going on, everyone? I wanted to make a quick kind of reaction video to the Mets spring breakout roster that was announced today. I just wanted to talk about a few of the minor leaguers. Maybe you're not that familiar with. I know I just did that video about the top 30 ranked prospects, but I want to do a separate video right now as a reaction post to some of the maybe lesser known names to a lot of the Mets fans out there. So part of the roster I want to talk about is a left-handed pitcher, Daniel Juarez, 23-year-old lefty, which I love lefties. So you got me right there. In 2023, he had a 2.37 ERA, 61 strikeouts in 57 innings. That was between high A and double A. Opponents hit 173 against him last year. Now, for me, he's a very good arm, very solid, but last year was actually a career low walk rate. So is that a sign of things to come? He's always been a very talented pitcher, but for him to have a career low walk rate by at least over one plus, or one less walks per 9 innings, it was a big drop last year. And that's even before the pitching lab. So with him already now being double A, even maybe triple A eligible of sorts as far as reaching that plateau in 2024, he's going to be a really interesting guy to follow. So please keep an eye on Daniel Juarez. Uh, Keeping with the relievers, it's a guy I've already talked about before, and I happen to have interviewed him, but Paul Gervais made the list for this roster, which I'm super excited about. Very happy for him. Again, now Paul Gervais, big, tall reliever, right-handed. Last year, he had a 2.05 ERA. He also pitched 57 innings, but he struck out 96 guys. 96 strikeouts in 57 innings between high A and double A last year. And opponents hit 146 against him last year. The big thing with Paul Gervais, location, 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 all about command. When I talked to the scouting department even last spring, one of the names they talked about right up front was this guy, Paul Gervais. They were saying this guy looks like a monster. It's going to be about command of his secondary pitches, too. So during the offseason, I know Paul Gervais on the show talked about, hey, I utilized the pitching lab, and obviously my main focus is to work on mechanics and command. So that's going to be the big thing. I know he made a brief appearance in Major League spring games. Hopefully he'll get into more games too. But this is going to be huge to see him participate in this kind of event with all the fellow minor leaguers. Another reliever, keeping it on the 23-year-old reliever spin that we got going on right now, is right-handed reliever Wilkin Ramos. This is another big-time arm, location, location, location. It's a guy who has to work on his command, but talking to some of the Mets stuff and even some teammates, one of his teammates, when you describe Wilkin Ramos, he feels that they feel he's a major league reliever. They felt that last year when he was pitching in double A. He also pitched in high A last year, had a combined 2.50 ERA. But again, his teammates believe in him. Some staff believe in him. So he's going to be another upper minors reliever guy who probably should get some run and some possible consideration for a debut, depending on how the season goes. The next guy is not unknown if you've been following my account, but I have to talk about Yovani Rodriguez, the most recent 17-year-old international top signing of the Mets organization. And as I've stated online, there are people in the Mets organization who feel that they basically signed the number one prospect in all of the IFA class in this recent class. That's their opinion. I want to trust the professionals. They are super, super, extremely high on Yovani Rodriguez. They feel he's going to have all the tools. They feel his defense is very solid. They feel the arm strength is there. They feel the hit tool is there. As far as the power, I mean, for a 17-year-old, I can't really call him another future Alvarez. So for now, I want to stick with the kind of balanced two-way version of a player between a hit tool and defense. We'll see how the power develops, obviously, but this is really huge, amazing opportunity for him to even be participating in this kind of event and games. So I'm super excited to see what kind of run he gets and his future, because again, Dove's bold predictions, I've been predicting already that within about 2 years, Yovani Rodriguez will be ranked as one of the top 3 prospects in the Mets organization. That's my opinion. I don't know. Save it. Please don't save it. That's my thoughts. Another catcher, very under the radar, is a left-handed bat, Vincent Perozzo. I was pretty excited covering him, watching him last year. He just turned 21 last week, so he's a young guy. He was 20 years old, obviously, last season. He seemed to be a work in progress. I talked to some of the coaches, and that's basically the best way they can describe Vincent Peroso, work in progress. He's still learning. It's going to be a thing where he may take a little bit longer to develop. I'll see where he ends up, obviously, in 2024. Do they send him to Brooklyn? It's going to be pretty interesting, but I just kind of like the bat. Maybe it's just a left-handed swing. I just like Vincent Peroso. So again, you can never have enough catchers, I guess. I'm already hyping the number one guy, but I like the under the radar Vincent Peroso guy to see how he can develop, see if he can get himself in the mix in the next 2, 3 years. The other two guys that I want to talk about for this video are basically, I consider them utility players. That's my opinion. I'm trying to see their role going forward in the upper minors, even as a possible major league player. Would it be under a utility role? Now, one of them is William Lugo. I feel like he's been around for about 10 years. I swear, I feel like he was involved in the old Familia trade of sorts when the Mets gained some international money, and I think it went towards William Lugo. And here he is still years later. He just turned 22 in January. So again, these younger IFA kids, they seems like they're around forever and they're still young. I consider him more of a utility player. I did like his arm and glove a couple years ago, watching him, and I know last year he played first base, third base, and short. The organization feels very highly about his defense overall. The question, obviously, is going to be the bat. What kind of power can he show, especially if he attempts third base or first base? Where's the power going to be? Is it going to be enough power? But again, the versatility of a guy who can play three infield positions, it's been around a while. That utility kind of specialist kind of role up the levels between AA, AAA, you're going to run into a lot of veterans, right? So it's going to be interesting to see what kind of role he can kind of make for himself in the organization. And then the other guy, I could basically say the same exact thing of sorts, Junior Tillian. If you've been following my account for a couple of years, I was super excited about Junior Tillian in the last couple of year or two ago. And it seems like things kind of went behind the scenes with him last year. The numbers aren't sexy. He's still only 21 years old. Played last year for between low A and high A. He also played all of those infield positions, second base, shortstop, and third. My thing, the differences between like a William Lugo and a Junior Tillian, I was super excited about Junior Tillian's power. So I wanted to see how it would translate. I was super excited about it. I know in low A, high A, it's not easy to hit a lot of home runs in the big ballparks. So I want to see, like, do they try to test him? Does he have to repeat high A? Do they push him to double A? Because when he gets to hopefully double A, I want to see the home run numbers. And it's going to be about power with him because I felt I saw a lot of power. Talking to some of the coaches when he was with the St. Lucie Mets, they did mention that the power is there. So, but they were trying to do different things. I remember the coaches were saying we were working on that launch angle of sorts. They were working on more barreling of the ball, but they felt that he had the tools to do it. So, like a lot of guys, I feel like this might be a huge make or break ish type of season for both William Lugo and Junior Tillian in that kind of utility role, kind of finding their way in the Mets organization. So, hey, that's what I got for now. I hope it's good information for you to take in. Obviously, you know I'm excited about all the minor leaguers and all the top prospects that are participating in this kind of event of games. But I wanted to give you some info on some of the lesser known guys. Thank you for listening. Until next time.